So I'm a director specialized in mountain sport videos, and I'm here to talk about the workflow of production on a Freeride event. It's an event that a team that I joined in 14. First as a workflow consultant to create a new workflow, and as an editor, and then I became producer and director of the live. So first, maybe some of you here are Freeriders, but maybe some of you don't know what freeriding is. So I have a video about that.
What is freeriding? This is freeriding. But this is freeriding too. It's as old as skiing itself. And it doesn't matter how you look, what equipment you use, or where you are. It doesn't matter how old you are, and it really doesn't matter how good you are. It's about letting go of your fear. Being an idiot with your friends, and knowing when to stay indoors. All you need is a slope, snow, and the imagination to draw a line. This is freeriding. And really, it's very simple. If you're having fun, you're doing it right.
Okay, so now you have an idea of what freeriding is, but maybe you wonder what can be a competition of a sport like that. So I have another video about what is a Freeride World Tour.
What is competitive freeriding? Well, after years of having fun, people began to wonder who was best. And so it began. A crew of skiers held a competition in Alaska. Next was Switzerland with the extreme Verbio. Gradually, these contests spread across the world and joined together as a single tour, and so it went global. The big show. But in the end, it comes down to one rider atop a mountain. And while safety equipment is abundant, the rules remain remarkably simple. There's a start on a peak and a finish at the bottom. There are no gates, no piste, no clock, and there's no practice run. Riders rely on a visual inspection and their imagination to create a line. Runs are judged using 5 subjective criteria, which means any approach or style has the potential to win. For riders, the pressure is immense and the margin between success and failure narrow. Over the years, competition has driven the sport to new heights, and now the only certainty is progression. This is competitive freeriding.
Okay, so now you see what we're talking about. And so as you can imagine, there are some specific challenges in making videos for events like that. But first, I would say it's for any kind of event, you have now to produce a very big variety of videos. I mean, videos for television, for web, social media, for live. So it's to have the widest audience as possible and give them what they want to see. You have to work very fast because the time when you were showing a highlight 2 days after an event is over now. People want to see things right after it happens, so you have to be efficient. And you also have to be mobile to go in a mountain environment, which of course make it pretty tricky, but make it also very exciting. So what we're doing is that on the competition day, we have several cameras everywhere on the mountain. We have some in the air with heli, drone. We have some GoPros. We have some long lens cameras everywhere. So you see it's a big variety of formats also that they were going to have to edit together. And so when I arrived in the team, editors were using different software. Some were on Eduse, Avid, some Final Cut. And to manage to have the most efficient workflow, I decided that we would all go to Premiere Pro because some were Mac users, some Windows, and also because at this time it was the best software to ingest all these formats together and make us the possibility to have a collaborative workflow to work all together on a shared storage in which we ingest all the files from our different cameras and that make us producing different types of videos. So one of our challenges is that we have a lot of footage, I said, from a very big variety of formats, and we have to produce many kinds of videos so we can reach a wide audience. To manage to work faster, what I did as well is I prepared the work in advance for my editors. So I prepared the export preset, I prepared all the graphics in After Effects, but then they don't have to go to the software anymore. They do everything in Premiere Pro, for which I made a project model with all the audio mapping, all the graphics. So it's the global idea is to work as fast as we can and don't waste time on techniques because it's not what we're here for. We're here to tell stories, and if you want to be good in these stories, we don't have to waste time on techniques. So that's why I prepare everything in advance, and then we really work like a team. I mean, we have so many hours of rush, and we're gonna maybe edit a 15 seconds video. So in 2 hours, so you imagine we don't have a lot of time to waste in searching through all these big quantity of files. So one will maybe just go through the heli shots and make a selection. And then me, for my own edit, I will just grab that sequence for my colleague project, import this in my own project, and then grab one file instead of grabbing the entire 5 hours of heli shots. So that's a way of working which is efficient, and it's nice because we really work as a team. And for an event like that, we never know when things are going to happen. We have a weather window, and then we will know, depending to the snow condition, to the weather, when the competition will be. So you see that we have to adapt all the time because we're going to produce some videos before the event, after the event, but the main day is event day when we're going to have a live, we're going to have some highlights, we're going to have some TV products. And if you add all of these, we reach almost 200 million people, which is nice for us to see that some mainstream audience are interested in seeing what our artists are doing. And one of the parts is live, so to have an idea
to the Freeride World
what
Tour.
it takes to produce a live from remote places like where we are, I'm going to show you a little making of.
Journal. It's day 6 here in Alaska and we're still on hold. So we thought we'd take this opportunity to give you an insight into exactly what goes into putting a competition on in the remote mountains of Alaska. First of all, the location is 4 miles from the nearest road, so everything that goes to the venue goes by helicopter. There's a crew of 14 technicians who work in shifts to make sure there's a secure satellite connection, a stable power supply from a generator, and they build the production tent. Now this is a very special piece of kit. It's custom built, inflatable, so it's insulated and can withstand winds of up to 150 kilometers an hour. And then it's filled with a lot of very high-tech equipment. You've got a live judging system, you've got the graphics for the live broadcast, you've got inputs for 9 cameras. One of those is attached to the bottom of a helicopter. The weather changes very fast in Alaska, so the crew have to camp on the mountain. This means they can stop the equipment from freezing up, and when we do get a break in the weather, they're ready to go. It's not an enviable task sitting around in a freezing tent at the top of a mountain, but unbelievably there is a waiting list amongst the crew to go up and camp on the mountain. That's because nature's views are a memorable reward.
It's true, I had the chance to sleep in this tent and film this time lapse, and it's some of my best memories and all the years I spent on this event. But so now you have an idea of what it takes to do this live. And so basically what happens on a competition day that we all go up to our position very early morning before sunrise. And everybody will go in its position. The camera operators will go on the mountain. Our Cineflex operator, which is here, will go on the heli, and every technician to the live will go at the live production tent, and then we start the competition. And believe me, when we start the live, I would say the pressure, like when I start directing it and I'm like 3, 2, 1, we're live, I would say it's the same pressure as the riders when they enter Stargate and they're about to grow. But it's very exciting too. And so then we have the competition. We have like 50 riders, one after each other, so it's like 4 to 5 hours live. And while it happens, we already have some editors who are in the tent with us to ingest the live feed and start editing from the live feed. So we have one person which is here just to cut the files. One is editing a news cut and some 15-second highlights to be published right at the end of the competition. And also a 100-minute show. So they have to work in a very efficient way. So at the end of the competition, we cut the live, but we're gonna use this internet to publish some videos right after when it's over. And after the competition, we all go back to the office, and then we're gonna edit some more videos, but in a very short time as well, because we're not gonna take 2 days to edit a highlight. We have to do it in like 2, 3, 4 hours max. And to do that, I showed you that we work in a collaborative workflow, but we also use every automatic tool that we can get from a Premiere Pro. I'm gonna show you some. Like, for example, for color grading, you imagine everything is white. So if one image is blue and the other is yellow, it's gonna look very ugly. And I'm sure nobody here will tell you that they're using their auto button, but we do because it works pretty well, and we don't have time to do the perfect grading. So then we grade one and we apply match, so they all look the same, and it takes us 2 minutes, you know? And then you can add an adjustment layer, so you put an effect on everything, and it looks better, and it takes only a few minutes, which is exactly what we need. Same for the graphics. They've been prepared in After Effects, but you don't have to go to After Effects to change them in Premiere Pro. You just change the names. And so all these little things, you know, added to each other, allow us to go very fast and publish the first edits just a few hours after the end of the competition. So I'm going to show you an example of these edits that has been shot in British Columbia last February.
Riding through the western sky, you can toss your worries aside. With the clouds rolling gently and sunshine aplenty on a trail.
Look at him go with the transfer! Oh my God, great! Another one, and Logan clean through that one too. This is a big one too.
I would say that this last year, the videos had a big evolution because people don't watch videos the way they were just a few years ago, and they watch them like on their smartphones, and they watch many videos per day. So we have to adapt and follow this trend. So we make very short videos now. We use graphics a lot to the subtitles because 85% of people watch videos without the sound. So we really want them to have the information. So we have to use all these. And for each video we produce now, we do a 16:9 ratio, but also a vertical one. So it's a better view on smartphones. So it gives us maybe a bit of more work, but it's also like we have to do that, otherwise people will not see what we're doing. So I'm going to show you an example of the way we do them now with using the graphics to tell the story.
Oh my goodness! That was massive!
And now for each one of these videos, we make another version, which is gonna be 4-5 for social medias. And sometimes we have a long one, which can be like 2 to 3 minutes for classic YouTube or Facebook. But we're gonna have some short ones for Instagram, for example. So we really need to adapt to where people are watching our videos now and producing a big quantity of videos. So I would say that now the video team has to be the same as athletes. I mean, you have to be mobile to go as close as possible to the action. You have to be fast because people are not going to wait for you forever to have finished editing your videos. They want to see them right after the event happened. And you have to be agile because, you know, when you're in a remote place, if you have an issue, you're alone with your computer. So you have to know your software well, so to fix any kind of issue you can have, and also to be able to follow the evolution of video. So that's challenging, but of course it's what makes it exciting in that kind of video production. So I hope you will enjoy watching the next Freeride Rotor season, and if you want to follow my work, that's my company. And thank you for your attention. If you have any question, I will be on this side. Thank you.